What's up, everybody? John from Old Running Farm here. Thanks for joining us. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I built this little chick condominium here, or chicken condominium here. Not chicks, not hot chicks, just chickens. Chickens, only chickens. Okay, so I'll be right back. Night night. Look at this thing. We are in a mainly previously unseen section of our farm today. This is our back porch, which has basically, since we've lived here, which is coming along 4 years, which is freaking crazy, has been the brooder for our chickens. We had our emus out here and we had a bunch of chickens out here. Now the problem is it is not very secure, and we recently had an animal come in and we just had, man, my hair, why is it like the freaking Jimmy Neutron over here? We had, it was like a massacre. It was really bad. And the chickens were also very expensive. So my duty is to build a new brooder. So you'll see here I got a bunch of pallets going back to our roots. Even though I have a sawmill, I have a ton of these pallets, and you'll see a lot of these are left over from when we had our friend who did firewood. In exchange for clearing some of our land, we let him store firewood here, and that left us with a ton of some usable and some unusable pallets. And so these are from my previously marked as unusable ones, because basically what he did is he screwed them sort of together with 2x4s. You can see this little piece sticking out there. And so rather than like go and like spend the time to unscrew all of them, I just sort of set them off to the side. But I'm trying to do a better job of being organized down in my wood yard. So I figured with this build, instead of milling a ton more wood, I'm going to try to use a lot of what I had. So this is some lumber that I had here. It's really just 4x4s and 2x4s. So anything that you'd be able to get at the store. So I'm trying to not use anything that's too, out there. I'll also have a bunch of scraps that I'll be using for the floor, and then I will be milling stuff for the roof and the sides. So I will not be able to finish that today, or maybe I will. I guess we'll have to see how fast I can go, because I also need to put doors on the front. But anyway, so this is going to be a pretty straightforward thing. It's going to be like 3.5 feet by 8 feet. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to have these. So basically it's going to be the size of 2 pallets. So these are around 48 inches this way by 40 inches that way. And I'm going to figure out a way to stick them to some 4x4s so that they're basically like waist high, so that we can come, pretty easily go in and get or feed and water the chickens. And we're going to put it right down here. Hey, Kenny, you going to be my little builder buddy today? Kenny Benny. Anyway, because we want to make it easy for ourselves to both clean it out, to grab the chickens so we can take them to their next location, and then also just, maintain on a daily basis. So anyway, that's sort of what my base is. So basically I'm going to put up some 4x4s, and then I think I'm going to try to run a 2x4 through them and then attach that 2x4 to the 4x4 post. We'll have to see how it goes. All right, so I'm gonna get my tools, and then I'm gonna get started, and hopefully this goes well. All right, so here's where we're at. It is not very pretty, and I forgot how much of a pain in the ass it is to work with pallets. But, you know, at least I didn't have to throw a whole bunch of joists down here and like on the back there. So this is actually, it's more solid than it started out. Will be more solid too. But I basically have run out of wood. I only have a few 2x4s there. And so obviously I'll need to put rafters up, and I'll need to put siding up. Originally I was gonna have a pallet on either side here, but screw that. I'm just gonna cut some siding and put it up, and that should be fine. And then you'll see that this pallet sticks up a little too high because I set this board too high up. Originally, like, the pallet was supposed to match with the back joist here, but I'm kind of dumb sometimes, so. So I'll just take a Sawzall or something and just trim this all down. But this is actually pretty nice because these little slats are all tucked into my top board there, so that'll provide that some extra security. I had to put a little middle thing there, but this will hopefully allow me to have two big doors, and they can both meet right here. And I'll probably have them meet sort of right in the middle, and that way I can open one door and, you know, go in here. I'm also, for the floor, I have a bunch of IBC totes, and some of them are pretty banged up. So I'm just gonna cut those up and screw the plastic to the floor. That should make it like super easy to clean out. So that'll be good. But right now, also, these pallets were not good. Trying to get those apart was nearly impossible. I don't know what type of screws that guy used to hold them all together, but they're ones that I don't have the bit for. So couldn't really get them apart. So I have some of those hanging around. But anyway, so this is where we're at so far. I need to go mill some more wood, which I think I will do. And so, because I need 2x4s for the rafters, I need 2x4s for the doors, and I need a bunch of siding. And now I was thinking about doing the live edge siding for this, but I think because it needs to be much more secure and warm, I'm just gonna do flat siding and kind of just put it down like that. So anyway, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but in just a second, it'll be tomorrow, and hopefully I'll have a whole bunch more wood, and everything will be right with the world. So it snowed yesterday, and you know, it's kind of a pain in the butt because it makes working out here much more difficult. It also makes taking care of the animals a little bit more difficult, although it does provide a nice backdrop. But you know, most of the animals deal with the snow just fine. The chickens probably like it the least, same as the peacocks. The emus actually do pretty okay with it. But the alpacas, it's like nothing ever happened. For them, like, their fiber is so warm that, you know, they just, their body heat never escapes to melt the snow because their fiber is so well insulating. And the donkeys seem to do okay with it. They don't love it, but with their new barn, they spend a lot of time in there when it's foul weather, so I'm really glad that we have that all set up. But yeah, most of the animals do pretty well with the snow. It's a little bit of a pain in the neck to trudge around, and you know, it's hard to get stuff done when everything is wet and cold and snowy. But anyway, so now we're gonna get back to our builds here. Okay, so back down here. So I did some milling yesterday and this morning, as you can see. So I have plenty of 2x4s, and I hopefully have plenty of siding. So what I'm gonna do today, so I think first thing I'm gonna do, you know what, I need to get all my tools, haven't got that yet. But so I'm gonna trim this down so we have that size, put the rafters up so that I know how tall these sides need to be. And then I'll start putting the siding on and putting the roofing on, because I'll put the siding on before the roof so I can cut it down. So yeah, we'll see how that goes, and let's get to it. So we got our two sides on here, and now that we have that, we can go and put the roof on. But before that, I'm gonna take these little scraps of 2x4s that I have left and make sure I plug up these holes up here, because we don't want anybody to have an easy way to get in here. So that's what I'm on next. So I'm gonna put those spacers in, and then I'm gonna put the roof on. Last thing I'm gonna do before the doors is put the back wall on. And I think I have enough siding, everybody. Cross your fingers. I was able to mill 2 logs today. These are older pine logs, which I said that I wasn't gonna use pine logs, but it's just like I needed to get it done fast. But anyway, these were a little bug bitten, so I don't think I would have used them for carving anyway. But all right, so I'm gonna put the spacers in, put the roof on, and then put the back wall on, which will be nice and fun because it's sort of underneath the porch, which is not tall enough for me to stand under, so hooray. All right, so we are looking really good so far. I'm actually really happy with how this has come out. It is quite solid. And yeah, so and obviously you can see the little pallet in the back, but everything, I did decide to put down a patchwork floor here. I'm not sure. Yeah, I guess maybe I'm thinking about maybe what I'll do is putting down hardware cloth along the bottom, just so nothing can really like dig up. And then I'll put the plastic down on top of that. You know, especially when we're dealing with little chicks, safer is better. So anyway, I mean, I think this looks pretty good. It is pretty big. Kat was a little concerned about how tall it was. I mean, for me, it's right about waist high. I think it'll be okay. We'll have to see what she says when she comes back. But if we do need to cut it, I'll just be able to lift it up with the tractor and then cut a few inches off the bottom. So it shouldn't be a big deal. There's Pepper in the background. It's nice to actually work in a spot where my dogs can hang out. Haven't had that in a while. Right, Pepper? She's busy. So, but anyway, so now I'm working on the doors. And so you can see I added this little lip right here. And so basically the door will sit sort of flush with this post. And then I'll have the, let's see, what'll I have? So maybe I actually need to add one more. Yeah, so I guess I need to add one more 2x4 to sort of, or I don't know what I need to do here. Yes, so I need to add one more 2x4 along here so that we're even with this beam, so we have a nice little frame so that then the door can sort of sit just flush in there. What do you think, Pepper? Hi, Beefy. It's so nice to have Pepper here. And it's like warmer outside today, so most of the snow is melting. But anyway, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm not gonna be able to finish this like 100% today, I don't think. But I should be able to get the doors on there and have it be ready. And then I just think we do some, you know, extra security measures, and then we're ready to put chicks in it. And then actually, so I was also thinking about, because we have an outlet on that porch, so I think we'll just run like sort of an extension cord underneath and then maybe drill a hole in the back here, and then we can hang a heat lamp right from the center, and then we can put our waterers and stuff in here. I'm looking forward to this. I think this is gonna be a much better solution than the porch. It should be much easier to clean out. So I'm gonna do some additional like framing little things here, and then I'll check back in once I have some of the doors up. Okay, it has now gotten a lot colder. Sun is setting, but check this out. Also, I don't know what happened with the time lapse. It seemed to have turned off at some point, but check this out, man. Oh, it looks so good. So the only thing I need to do is put a latch on it. But so we got these two big, beautiful doors. And so now you see there's a gap right here, but right behind there, there's a 2x4. So when this is shut, it is sealed. And I'll prove it to you. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, this will actually be a good test. So I'm going to set the camera in here. So guys, everybody pretend you're a chicken, okay? A little baby chick. And hopefully that was pretty dark. So it was pretty cold. Okay, so this is picking up where I left. So this might be one of my favorite things that I've built, which is silly because this is just a little chicken thing. But I wonder, I mean, this could be like our prototype for chicken coops going forward. This is actually really nice. I do still think, I'm going to talk to Catherine and see what she wants to do, whether she wants to put hardware cloth on the bottom, whether she wants to put the plastic on the bottom, and then go from there. I filled in as many gaps as I possibly could, so there are not as many as I possibly could. I filled in all the gaps. This thing is very sturdy. I mean, it's not going to be super watertight, but what I've done in the past, which I'll probably do, is I take old chicken food bags and I cut the tops off, cut the bottoms off, and then I cut them along the side. And then you got a nice little waterproofing element. It won't be perfect, but it'll be better than just the wood. You know, usually what I've done with these things is I've done like, you know, sort of shingled. Like when I did the donkey barn, I did that with sort of a shingled way of live edge wood. And now doing it with the straight edges was a lot more work. I mean, it required a lot more milling and a lot more effort. But I think this actually looks pretty cool. So let's take a little shot from far away. Oh yeah. That looks pretty good, huh? I'm pretty psyched with it. So obviously there's some things we need to do to finish it up. But I think to start, this is great. This is great. I wonder if this is something we could sell. Anyway, I got enough to do. So I need to actually get some firewood for tonight. Or otherwise I'll be in trouble. All right, so I just got a couple things more to do, which I'll probably finish up tomorrow, maybe during lunchtime, and then I'll show you guys the final result in a minute. All right, everybody, so we are now done. I think this looks super fantastic. I'm very, 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 very happy with how this came out. It took longer than what I really planned, but that's okay. So here's how I got this set up. This is gonna be the main door, which is latched onto this door, and then this door has its own latch up to here. So this way we can easily open this door and gain access and keep this side closed. And if we want to, what we gotta do is that, open up this side, and we got the whole thing open. So you'll see I ran hardware cloth all along the bottom and sides here so that nothing can crawl up under here and get through. And then I also just added some of this scrap plastic on top. That'll just help us clean it out more easily. We'll just have to see sort of how that goes. But overall, I'm very excited with how this came out. I think we'll probably run electrical through here and then hang it sort of right in the middle so that it's right in the middle. But yeah, I mean, I am very, very happy with how this came out. And as you can see, when I have that shut, there's only like a 1/4 of an inch gap at most. I mean, obviously there's more of a gap here, but then once this guy is shut, that's all together. There's no gap really down here. It's holding it nice and tight. And again, there's a piece of wood right back here, so there's no place for the critters to come in through the top, and everything's all sealed up. I think this came out looking really good, and I'm super excited. So next step is we're gonna get some chicks out here, and hopefully it goes well. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time.